Four comedians are also real good friends, working on jokes, the fun never ends. They're asking each other, is this anything? I had an idea like a couple of years ago to release a book that was a comedy special, which is something I have thought about on and off since then.
You should see Matt Jenkins's. He did something very similar to that.
He did.
Oh, he did? Wait, is that the guy that does the stand-up shot specials?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just printed one out into a book. And
Oh,
sells it.
that's funny. He printed it into. That's pretty great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, people love it.
Yeah. I'm one of those people.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm in it.
Oh, you're in it?
I introduce him.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Brett
cool.
opened for Matt for his book.
Oh, that's great. I would probably do it without pictures, though. This way, it would be easier to make into an ebook.
Mm.
You can put pictures in ebooks, I think.
Yeah, but the formatting, well, the formatting is
You
weird.
gotta have a color printer for the internet.
Well, if it's just text and somebody's looking at it like on a Kindle or something, they can adjust the size and they can customize it how they want to look at it. But if you have pictures, then it's more, it's kind of set.
Set in stone.
Yeah.
What if you do it in all macros?
In macros?
Yeah, like when people arrange alphanumeric stuff to make a picture.
Oh. I guess that could
I think
work.
they're called macros.
There might be. I don't.
Magic Eye would also work, maybe. Because remember Magic Eye?
Oh,
I remember Magic
I could.
Eye.
One of my eyes doesn't quite focus with the other, so I can never see the object.
Stereos.
That sounds like it should make you amazing at it. Because you're supposed to, not focus on it. You know what I mean?
I think one of my eyes doesn't stop focusing on it.
Whatever it is that makes it not work is what your eye does.
Yeah, here, look at this. Ready? Watch my left eye. Ready?
Your eye looks like a boat.
It's a kangaroo boxing.
But if you see, I can move just my left eye.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I can cross it just a little bit.
Oh my gosh, you guys are in 3D. I stopped focusing on this conversation, and all of a sudden, whoa!
Maybe we should get to work. What do you guys think?
We should probably start the show.
That was Patreon content, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Patreon content.
Woo! All right, for all you freeloaders out there, welcome to another episode of
All you parasites. Eating up free material with no regard for our effort. All right, Rob.
Yes,
That
sir.
intro sounded
in.
like it was going to be fire, man.
It sounded like it was going to be fire. Let me start again. Hi,
What
everybody.
happened?
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Is This Anything, where four people who happen to be friends are going ahead
You
saying
motherfucker.
jokes. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Is This Anything? My name's Rob Wright. I'm joined by Anthony Kapfer, Brent Druck, and Jarret Berenstein. Today, we are going to be unlocking the secrets of our new jokes right here, right now, pitching them, punching them up, all the fun things. Jarret, what is our order for today?
Our order is Brett, Jarret, Anthony, Rob.
Hey, holding up
Nice.
today.
Good order.
Great
Mhm.
order.
It's a great order.
And great intro.
Just
Rob.
do that every
Really
week.
good intro. Yeah.
The same order?
Also, I was
Yeah.
thinking about it. I wouldn't mind if I was first once in a while.
Oh.
I changed my mind. Changed my mind about it.
We're going to change the whole show? What are we going to call it now?
Wait a minute. Have we not been putting you first specifically for that reason?
Yeah, I didn't prefer it before, but now
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it anymore.
All right. We'll throw that back in the mix.
Jarbonator, there's a lock on Anthony. And
Yeah.
Jarret will just release that mechanism.
Yeah, but it will be like when you fold a hose. Like you're gonna go first, 100 times in a row now.
Yeah.
The
This is-
Jarbonator is right off camera, right? It's directly to your left.
Yeah.
Damn, never seen it, but it's right.
I've heard a lot about it.
If I move my camera half an inch in either direction, you'll see the Jarbonator.
Wow.
The Jarbonator is a huge machine that goes. It starts there. It's some of it's up here, the mechanism. Some of it's over here.
And you'll also see just like a dozen different fruit spreads for Jarret to choose from.
It operates at such a gentle hum. I don't even hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even notice
Yeah,
it.
it often sounds a lot like Anthony's air conditioning.
No, sometimes it goes bleep, plop, plop, bleep.
And it does do the beep, beep, beep noises as well. All right, Brett
okay.
Druck.
I'm going to do something a little different today.
Ooh.
So I feel like I have a superpower when two people are having a conversation and I'm witness to it and one person is not understanding the other person. I almost always know what the person thinks the other person is saying and what that person is trying to say. And that gives me the ability to often resolve this miscommunication. And I never do it because it's so much more fun to just watch it happen. And this is an example. My friend Ariel and I once went to get ice cream. And the girl behind the counter asked him a question. And the first two times, he thinks he has no idea what she said. The third time, he's pretty sure he knows what she said, and he thinks she said, "What kind of cone?" But this is how that conversation actually went. She said, "Cup or cone?" And he went, "Huh?" And she went, "Cup or cone?" And he went, "What?" And then, mind you, I know exactly what's happening. I'm watching all of this. I'm not doing anything. And then the third time she goes, "Cup or cone?" He goes, "Oh, what are my options?" The look on this girl's face when her only option was to say cup or cone a fourth time was just, I've a few times have I laughed that hard in my entire life. And so I never interfere.
I love that so much.
I like that premise because I'm sure everybody has experienced that moment where they know.
They know what both sides are thinking. They know exactly the miscommunication. And
But I think most of the time they want to help. I don't know that I've seen
Right.
somebody sitting back going, "Oh yeah." So I like that twist on it.
I'm sure you could probably do a fun analogy to other superheroes not using their powers because it's more fun.
Oh, that's
You
great.
know, it's like Superman. You could just melt this metal and release the hostages. And he's like, "Yeah, but I don't know. Wouldn't it be fun to see them get out, like by themselves? Like, how would they do that?"
All of a sudden, Superman is Bartleby. He's like, "I prefer not to." Come on, Bartleby! Fuck you guys.
I don't know what is Bartleby?
I
book
honestly
and a
don't get
movie?
it, but I tried to smile to
Yeah,
support.
I gave a polite haha.
It's a
Rob
book
is the
and
only
a
one who was
movie.
very honest with you. You're a true friend here.
Yeah, so you should have said guys. You should say, "Come on, Rob."
What is Bartleby
It's a book and a movie.
about?
Excellent. I don't need any more information.
A guy that would prefer not to.
Oh, well,
Okay.
That's like his catchphrase.
I prefer not to. Okay. When was this movie? When did this take place?
The movie. I don't know if there's a few movies. The one I saw.
There's a
had
franchise.
Crispin Glover was in the one that I saw. It might have been a reboot of a movie. It's like an old book. I don't remember from when.
Is this like the Barnaby from like March of the Wooden Soldiers? Is that the same guy?
I
Or
don't.
is that not spelled the
I
same?
don't think so.
Okay, I don't know.
Is this movie in color?
Yes.
Okay.
Crispin Glover. You know Crispin Glover.
He's
Yeah,
an
Crispin
actor.
Glover. He was in some black and white scenes in Back to the Future.
I beg your pardon?
Brett scratched his head like as if it was like an obvious tell that he was lying. Yeah, Glover. Yeah.
No, yeah, when they did the flashbacks to him as to his father.
It's almost like
Have you not seen Back to the
you
Future?
haven't seen Back to the Future.
What?
You know when they go into the
Yeah.
past and the past is
Not
all in black and
Oh, I'm
white?
thinking of Pleasantville.
There you go.
Was Crispin
Using
Glover in
movies.
that?
Think of Jeff Daniels.
No.
I'm thinking of The General with Buster Keaton.
Sorry, I didn't know the reference. I haven't read the book. I haven't seen the movie. I didn't know who it was.
Well, you guys aren't cultured enough for my references, so
So as far as my joke goes,
Yes, I was going to say that.
or a story, it felt more storytelling to me than my normal style.
Yes. And I was going to say about the story. I like the story. I've seen plenty of comics, engage with, get away with, be successful with, whatever stories just like that, where it's just something that happened, but it's speaking to a larger truth that, as Jarret pointed out, that we all have been at least at one point or another. And I like that.
Now, was there too much confusion? Am I taking too many detours in like the stops along the way where I'm like, I'm sitting there, like I'm not getting to the funny response of what are my options is really the punchline there. That's the funny part of it. Am I distracting from that too much? Have I given too much information on the way up? Like, have you forgotten what I've told you in the beginning about first two times
I think
that all came together?
I think you can trim a little bit of fat, but I didn't think that you were being too effusive.
Okay.
I like the story, and the punch is great. Like, what are my options? And you're like, she has to decide if she wants to say it a fourth time. But in the setup, you mentioned that you know what both sides are thinking, and I wanted to know what he thought he was hearing each time, since it was in the setup. Because he just goes, what? And then she says it, and he goes, what?
Well, I say the first two times he has no idea what she said. The third time he thinks she said, what kind of cone?
Right, but I guess because your wording says I know exactly what both of them are thinking, as opposed to I know the exact problem, I know the exact miscommunication that's happening, I'm aware, so yeah, there's a little bit, I agree with Anthony, that I was like, I wonder what he's thinking. I thought it was going to be like this, he's thinking this, but she's thinking that, but he's thinking that she's thinking, whatever. But it didn't turn out to be that, which was fine, but my brain did start to wonder if that's where it was going to go.
Yeah, this isn't very demonstrative of that specific superpower. It's more like you just heard what she was saying, and that guy didn't. You have better hearing than that guy.
Yeah, some say I'm a hero.
Oh, that's true. Because in the setup, I thought it was going to be more of a thing where two people were misunderstanding each other instead of not hearing each other. But I did really like that situation because of her deciding if she was going to have to say it again. Because what are my options? And then the options are the thing that he couldn't hear three times.
Right.
Is very funny.
So maybe I'll have to tweak the setup a little bit.
Or if you have another example, if you had maybe there's a first example that is more of a misunderstanding, and then the second example is this thing. Because this is very funny, but it's sort of different from what I thought it would be based on the setup.
Well, it sounds like a problem with your expectations.
And who set those expectations, Brent?
Anthony. What? Right. I got you, Jarret.
Thanks for having my back. I have a story that I might share now during my time that is similar to that, but it was happening to me, where I was mishearing somebody, and then my response...
Okay, well, it's not your turn right now.
I would love it if I could remember more of those situations, because I've had moments where, just like you, it's like the layers go so deep. I'm like, wow, I know exactly what this person's expecting right now. I know exactly this person's thinking and expecting right now. This is so fun. It's almost like you're watching your own situational comedy, because you as the audience have been given more information than either one character has. Right. And you just decided to be the viewer.
I just want to watch the show.
Yeah, you're in a sitcom. You're like, when does this get to happen? Where I get to be third person omnipotent, and I know exactly what's going on, or omniscient rather.
Weirdly enough, I found that to be a coping mechanism with personalities that I had to run into a lot, that I found very frustrating, is to look at them like they were a sitcom character. And be like, oh, that's their thing. That's what they always do. So instead of it being frustrating for me, I'm like, I know it's coming. So when they do it, it's just amusing.
Oh, then do you become the laugh track?
Yeah, sure.
You just laugh at everything because everything's funny to you now. That's a good way to put that. Yeah.
Like this guy's, his like character always punches me in the face. It's hilarious. Instead of really painful. Thanks, guys. That was good. Good feedback up. But that's all I got for today.
Cool.
Nice. I like that. I like it a lot. I think that could be. I think that could be. If you have more examples, I think it could be a really long bit.
Yeah, I definitely do. I'll just have to think on it.
Okay. All right, you guys ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
So ready?
Okay. So I have one bit today that I think will probably take up the entire bit. So I'll just go through the whole thing. I saw this video of someone giving their cat catnip. And the cat gets all high and acts funny. So like that's a kind of video that's all over the place. But I think it's weird that we give catnip to cats. Because it's not like medicinal or anything. We just give it to them to trip out, purely recreational. It's the only recreational drug that we give to animals. Like we don't give elephants Molly and then videotape them rubbing their trunks on their face. Oh god, this feels amazing. This feels so... I am never going to forget how amazing this feels. Although I would like to give mushrooms to some kind of apex predator like a shark and watch them get really emotional with a dolphin. Like, I'm so sorry that I eat you sometimes, but think about this. When I die, everything eats me. And that's our journey. Cats are the only animal where we're the drug dealer. And what's worse is that we're creeps about it. Because instead of paying for the drugs, we're just like, no, we don't need money. We just want to watch you use it. Maybe put it on YouTube or something. Yeah, we don't give recreational drugs to any other animal. The only thing that even comes close is when you go up to a dog and you go, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Because that's like cocaine for dogs. When you do that, a dog's brain is like, what's going on? We're going to Vegas? We're going to Vegas? We're going to open a restaurant in Vegas? Whatever it is, I'm in. All right, that's it. That's my bit.
Hey,
I
that's
love
great.
it.
Wow.
Yeah, I like it, and I've been thinking about that too, about how catnip is drugs, and everybody's just cool with it.
Yeah.
But if you blow weed smoke in your dog's face, you're a monster.
Well, that's also super bad for dogs. The reason why Steve Hofstadter's dog had seizures is because he ate an edible.
Oh,
Yeah. So this is...
do I have to edit this out now?
Only if that's how you... I mean, that's on you. So that's
Well, he didn't give it to him on purpose.
No. Somebody
yeah.
like this was in LA and it was just like on the ground. God. Yeah. And from that point on, he was very, like I think when we were on tour once, he ate like a chicken bone or something, and Steve got like really worried about that. So this is not an indictment of Steve as a dog owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was very protective. Too protective.
Yeah. Cool. Any thoughts on that, guys?
Dude, I love that, a lot of times you'll come in with things and you're doing the thing you should do, which is you're effectively like overwriting, or you're trying to nail every sort of angle just to see which ones stick. You're throwing a bunch of stuff against the wall, right? But in this case, every time you went to a new thing, I was like, oh, I like that too. I was like, what? Elephant? Funny. Shark thing? Funny. Dog? Funny. So it was what a success. I really feel.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, you hit for the cycle. I'll put it.
I would, I loved all the angles too, but I would love for you to give me names for the elephant version of catnip, whether it's ear nip or fin nip or whatever it's going to be. I would like a specific.
Oh, instead of saying Molly,
Yeah,
just to make up something like
because catnip isn't a drug to anybody but cats, so it's going to be a drug specific to elephants. Like there is no catnip for elephants.
To push back against that thought, I mean, Jarret has the Molly. He has a very specific Molly high that the elephant goes through, and then the shark has a very specific shroom high that the shark goes through. So to speak to that note, but maybe flip it, maybe you can conjecture as to what is catnip. What kind of drug is it? We have marijuana, we have mushrooms, we have heroin, we have cocaine, all very, very different things. But we just have catnip. It's just drugs for cats.
So I wonder if if you look at a cat, what it does on catnip, like right. When a human does a drug, what drug does he do that looks like when you give a cat catnip?
Yeah.
What?
And I'm not 100% sure what the answer to that is. Maybe
It's kind of
acid?
a combination of a lot of things because
Yeah,
it
because they get kind of
sometimes seems like
affectionate
weed.
and they get kind of
Yeah.
playful.
Yeah. Sometimes it seems like ketamine. it's
Ketamine?
Ketamine. Yeah.
Nice.
Ketamine.
Because they get hyper and then they get mellow.
Mm-hmm.
They get excited. So it's people always compare it to weed because catnip looks like weed, but the effect that it has is not exactly like when a person smokes weed.
So it's kind of like it's every drug for them.
Yeah, it kind of is. They go through all the stages of. They go through everything. They start off kind of. It starts out kind of like Molly because they like rub their face where if you just put it like on a pillow or something, they're like rubbing on it.
That may be permission for you to go through the specific type of drugs with other animals because you're like, they go through every drug. They basically go through every experience. Is that who's what?
Will you tell her to shut the fuck up?
What if so maybe that's permission now for you to say this is like every drug for the cat, and I would definitely love to see the mushroom aspect of sharks, and I'd definitely love to see the Molly aspect of elephants if there was a catnip for them. You know?
Okay. All right. That's interesting. I like that idea.
You could still come up with I don't know if that's what you were saying, but you could still come up with names for what they would be and compare them to the drug. I think.
Yeah.
Was that what you were saying, Brett?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
No, I was saying the other part, but yes, you could definitely include my first note in that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anything else for this one?
No, I liked all of it,
Yeah, I
Sweet.
like it.
and as you know, I am a
Okay.
fan of taking mushrooms with violence and combining those in a joke idea. I think it's very funny.
Sweet. Excellent. Well, I have another short one that's like not really a good idea, but I can.
Let's
toss
hear it.
that
Let's
in.
make it good.
All right. I want to make sure. Okay, nothing else for that one. I like how dictators always have very elaborate military outfits with tons of metal and flair, very stiff looking. Sometimes they have a sword. That's why I liked Gaddafi, because he was in pajamas. That's it.
I don't understand. Was he? Well, I don't get the pajamas thing.
I think Gaddafi is the only, and I'm pretty sure I'm getting the dictator correctly. The only dictator that wore just like very long flowing robes. He looked very comfortable all the time. You know? So like I said, this is a very good joke. It's just an idea.
It is funny. I just didn't. I don't know Gaddafi well enough to know his attire.
Rob, Anthony, did either of you immediately think about what Gaddafi wore?
Yeah, but I know he's only done it occasionally. I've definitely seen him in the full military garb
Oh yeah.
as well, where I'm like, but I've seen both.
Yeah, maybe the joke is just about how, dictators should be wearing pajamas. They should be, because you have all this power. Why be uncomfortable?
Right.
Dictators
Because you have to show that people can't take it from you. Like,
Mhm.
I see a guy in pajamas. I'm like, I could take his job.
I can steal your country.
Yeah, I could overthrow him.
I
with
just
a
like
pillow.
that you threw Gaddafi into your joke like you were Dennis Miller or something.
Maybe you could throw Bartleby in there.
A reference that everyone will get.
Well, I thought you guys read books and watched movies, so apparently you're not cultured. So.
No, all we do is work on our jokes.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it, but I didn't feel like it.
Okay. Well, obviously that dictator joke is perfect and done, so we can move on.
I'm going to pause for a second and grab an ice pack from my computer.
I would say you could still. I think the idea of that contrast of a dictator in pajamas is still very funny. So, but I think the heart of it should be maybe just like, I don't know if you're familiar with Gaddafi, but in addition to his general makeup, he's the only attire. He's the only dictator that I can think of that would ever wear like long flowing pajamas, and that may be the intro into to that.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I understand the idea of like, you have to project military power. Maybe the bit can be that to me feels like when a dude is walking down the street with his like hand on his girlfriend's neck, like so that she doesn't get away or something. Where it's like you're just trying too hard to project power,
Right.
you know? Or it's like if you see like a little guy who is, being very mouthy at the bar, like it's he could be drunk or he could be like Manny Pacquiao, who's just like an incredible fighter and tiny.
Oh, right.
So I want to be the dictator in the bathrobe because then people will be like, he must be extremely powerful, Maybe that's there's something that could be done there.
Yeah, I think that's funny too. Just like why I do dictators always do this. It seems like they're compensating. I would just wear, a onesie snuggie. What are they called? Those things.
Oh, yeah,
Romper.
Snooki.
I would just wear a romper.
Oh, a romper.
A Spider-Man romper.
People are like, I'm not fucking with him.
Yeah, if you make it about you as a dictator, then you can wear whatever you want. Like the premise of the joke could even be how dictators usually look uncomfortable. And then you can say, if I was a dictator, I'd wear pajamas. Then you don't even need the Gaddafi
That's very
thing.
relatable.
All right,
at
I'm
all.
saying this just so I can get it on the recording. So maybe this goes into like, we
else
all
would you
think
say?
that dictators are bad because every dictator is being a dictator the wrong way. I, wouldn't, every dictator does X, Y, and Z, and they're miserable, and then they die in a hole because everybody hates them and other countries are trying to kill them and everything. And it's like, what did you were so, paranoid and you dressed so uncomfortably, just for this to happen to you? I would be such a better dictator. First of all, pajamas. Second of all, blah, blah, blah. Maybe,
Slumber
maybe there's an
parties.
angle there. Slumber parties. There are other non-pajama things, but I just wanted to say that. Just to line those two ideas up next to each other.
Well,
Because
if
we
you're in
should do
pajamas,
that. I'm always
Scary
ready for pajama
stories.
parties.
Oh shit! I did it again.
Talking about what boys we like. Oh, no, sorry. That's also a pajamas thing.
if you're a dictator wearing pajamas, why wouldn't you have a slumber party? It would
Drinking
help
hot
your
cocoa.
likability.
Yeah, exactly. I'm always
Call
ready for it.
You call it a general's meeting. I call it a slumber party.
Especially when, General Fitzgerald is talking. Oh, boring, right? Everybody. Snoozeville. Okay. All right. Thanks so much for your help.
You'd have one of those sleeping caps.
But it's
One
got,
of those long-
badges on it. Medals.
And all my medals are like, best hug.
Oh man, that's good.
That's kind of a funny idea also, like the, medals, the Purple Heart was wounded. There are no fun military medals like, shot a can from really far away.
They're just merit badges that you
the
get.
Boy Scout ones.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that ties into the participation trophy bit that I was working on with you guys earlier. All right, that is well over my time. Thanks so much for your help, guys. That was dope.
Nice job.
Thanks. All right, Anthony, you are up.
All right. I have this. This is a concept more than anything that I would consider finished. But I want to talk about how when you're a kid, there's some things that are considered cool that are not cool, not as cool when you're an adult. Like when you're a kid, it's really cool to sleep in the top bunk of a bunk bed. If you're a kid and you're in the bottom bunk, you're kind of a loser. But then you become an adult, and the adult version of the top bunk of a bunk bed is a loft bed. And adults only have loft beds when they don't have enough room in their bedroom to have a normal bed. And there's no bottom bunk, so it's kind of like a lonely bunk bed. And then I think where I would go with it is that I think there's two directions I could go. One of them is that the kids that slept in the top bunk are more likely to have loft beds and kids that were that got stuck with the bottom bunk are more likely to sleep on a mattress on the floor. Or it could be that they switch, like the kid who got the bottom bunk maybe is the adult with the loft bed because they're like, finally I get to experience what it was like. But either way, there's that person was a loser through their whole life. They got stuck with the bottom bunk and then tiny bedroom as an adult.
I like it a lot. I wonder if there's room for misdirection there, in to be like, the person on the top bunk, they're now in a loft, and the person and they don't have enough space because they need a loft bed, so they're kind of a loser. And then the person on the bottom is their roommate, who's also a loser. So they're just both losers now.
Well, I was thinking similar, where it's like, when you're in the top bunk, the bottom bunk is like your little brother or your best friend. When you're in a loft, the bottom bunk is your kitchen. You can't hang out with it.
It's like a studio apartment, and then it's also a loft bed.
Yeah.
What spoke to me most in this joke was not the connections you were making, but just the loft bed is like a lonely bunk bed. That's that idea and that concept kind of made me laugh, And then rounding that out with the bottom bunk being akin to just the mattress on the floor now. Those two ideas, those two visuals were just very, very interesting to me. But I felt like you were almost bending over backwards to try to figure out how to make the story work.
Yeah.
What if when you walk into people's apartments, you can tell what bunk they were on as a kid? You're like, mattress on the floor, bottom bunk head. Loft bed, top bunk guy.
Yeah,
maybe
something like that.
Maybe the framework for the joke could have something to do with the various stages of bed height. Like mattress on the floor, dude without a job. Like mattress too high. That's somebody very, with a lot of throw pillows, very, very anal. Crate and barrel addict. Any higher than that, you're in a bunk bed, and that's awesome if you're a kid. Really depressing if you're an adult. Something like that.
I actually,
by the way, if you're in go.
No, I don't know where it is, because this is an old idea, and I have it in my phone, but I think that there's a notebook somewhere, because it's not in here, but I did start writing something about how your success level as an adult has a lot to do with how far away from the ground your bed is. So loft bed is, you're a loser, but mattress on the floor, you're also a loser. So somewhere in the middle is like where you'd want to be. But I forgot about that because I didn't have that written down in this version of it. But I like that playing with the height as a way of judging.
Yeah, the loft bed could be even higher than the bunk bed. So it's like, that's, now we're a dude without a job again. And then the higher the bed gets, the worse it gets. Like, mattress on the roof, you're obviously a homeless person. But then if you get really high, now you're sleeping on a private plane. Like, that's either dope or you're a stewardess.
Flight attendant.
I was going to say, if you're in the bottom bunk, you're a loser. If you're in the top bunk, you're kind of the cool kid. If you're in the top bunk, you're in a Malaysian jail.
Do they have 3 levels?
Sometimes it's just like weird hammocks hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
I've never been to a Malaysian jail.
Oh, you got to go.
Who's not cultured now?
Oh, man. Brett, your gap year sounds insane, dude.
I was thinking that not only where you sleep in height, which I love that idea, I might even introduce it as starting from the floor. That's bad. And as you get up, you get better and better. But if you go too high, then the process reverses. Would be one way in which I would do that. Second thing I was thinking about was also where in the house one sleeps. When you're sleeping in the basement, loser, and then you graduate to first floor, top floor, master bedroom, but then you're in the attic, and then now you're grandpa.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Now you're the crazy person that doesn't know that the family doesn't know is living there.
Hiding out, squatting in an attic.
Drilling holes in the basement, in the ceiling.
Right.
Do people in Japan sleep on the ground? Like that could be another level.
Yeah, losers.
Yeah,
Losers.
people.
Bed height is weird. If you sleep, if your bed is not a frame, you're a loser. But if you go lower than that, you're in Japan. That's nice.
So you're saying that really the because it feels like all of you guys are saying that the framing it as comparing it to being a kid with bunk beds is not even necessary.
Right. Yeah. I think that every note that we've had so far hasn't even touched on that, which would lead me to believe that we don't need any of that justification to just kind of go into some of the fun stuff about it. Because the kid stuff, I don't know. It just seems like you're trying to make it happen. I thought of this, by the way. Hey, did you know that people in Japan also sleep on the floor? And I'm like, I didn't know Japan's band didn't make it either. Just
Japan?
Everyone in Japan.
Everyone in Japan joined a band.
Didn't make
That
it.
didn't make it.
Their band didn't make it.
That's why they all, culturally, they all want to
Name
be in a
one
band.
famous Japanese band.
Right.
You can't.
K-pop took over.
Cool. So that's pretty helpful with that. Do you guys have anything else? Do I have time to move on to something else?
Yeah, let's go to something
Go
else.
for it.
Okay, let's see. I just have some short ones. What's it? Everyone wants to be a contrarian, but not me.
I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, that's great.
Brett doesn't like it.
I laughed. Do you want me to
knock his camera over?
What am I on a flight and I'm in the aisle seat where I have to help people out? I have to verbally confirm that I like the joke. Yes, I am able-bodied to help
Interesting
people in case of an
analogy.
emergency, and I
The
enjoy
part
this joke.
of your brain that was like, I need to be more effusive about this joke is the same part of your brain that feels inconvenienced when you're sitting in the aisle. That's so weird.
And you need to
No,
hear.
no, I don't feel
Sometimes the
inconvenience.
analogy
It's just
says
that
more about
they
the person than the
they won't let you
situation.
nod. You have to verbally confirm that you
Oh,
are
yeah,
able-bodied.
the emergency row.
Yes,
Yeah,
emergency room. That's what I meant.
Oh,
Wasn't coming to me.
I need verbal confirmation.
I'm glad we fixed it.
I kind of want like one more bit of that joke, like whatever you imagine a contrarian doing, you know, like
Maybe you could plant a heckler that says, "Yes, you are."
this might be a little precarious, but I was thinking like everyone wants to be a contrarian, but not me. What do you guys think? And then whatever, because it's like very vague what you're asking the audience to do. No matter what they say, you go, "Oh yeah, I agree." No matter what it is, it's like
Oh,
weird
yeah.
noises or laughter or someone shouts out "yes" or whatever, and you go like, "Oh, cool, me too."
Yeah.
Or you could ask them a specific question. What do you think? Should pineapple go on pizza, sir? And he's like, whatever he says,
Yeah,
I
me too.
agree.
That could be a fun crowd work
Right.
thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Might be fun too is if you went all my friends in New York's great or whatever, living this kind of lifestyle, whatever. It's great because all my friends are contrarians. We disagree about everything. It's always hard to meet up though because we never agree on a place or we never settle on a spot to go. Something to the effect of where like the difficulty of being friends with contrarians all the time.
Every time we hang out, it's always in a different place than everybody else on a different day.
We've never seen each other.
We never see each other. Yeah, it's like the relationship joke that you have of whatever of not seeing the girl that you're with.
You could-
Oh
if you-
yeah, the
long
long
distance
distance.
relationship.
Format-wise, if you take Rob and Jarrett's suggestions, I'm friends with a bunch of contrarians, but we've never met because we can't agree on a place or time.
Nice to your time, yeah.
Yeah, I do like that. It kind of reminds me also. I had a joke that I was trying to work on for a while about being in a relationship and arguing about like one person says you love to argue, and then I'm like, no, I don't, and then we argue about arguing. It was something like that. That was the concept. I don't remember the wording of it, but I never really could get that to work, and I wonder if a concept like that could work in this contrarian bit.
Sorry, this isn't about what you just said. This is about the having friends contrarian idea. You know, we can never agree on a time to meet up. There was one time we were supposed to meet up on a Tuesday, but I liked Wednesday better, so fuck those guys. Something like that.
What happens when contrarians agree?
They play the
MTV,
game.
the real world.
The real world.
I thought contrarians was just when you were a fan of the video game Contra. I thought we were just part of a group.
But you were wrong.
It's like, we're not going to play? I don't know. What if I told you everybody hates this game? No? Still not? Okay.
Yeah, anyway, there's some good stuff in there to play with. I think it might be better not to say everyone wants to be a contrarian, because not everyone does. But I like the idea of maybe framing it as I have a lot of friends that are.
If a joke bombs, you can later in the set say, everyone wants to be a comedian, but not me.
Or I could call the audience contrarians because they refuse to laugh at my joke.
Yeah, if a joke misses, just be like, a bunch of contrarians.
Typical.
Obviously, that joke's very funny.
You guys disagree.
If you could somehow squeeze the phrase contrary to popular opinion in there as well somewhere, if it becomes a longer bit, you could, I don't know. I like getting the word contrary in there as well. Sorry, I don't have anything better for you.
Contrary to popular opinion. That could be whatever. Like if the line is, I have a lot of friends that want to be contrarians. Well, I guess it doesn't really work. It only like everyone wants to be a contrarian, but not me. Contrary to popular belief, something. Then whatever the next part is, like that could be the bridge.
Yeah, potentially.
But I don't know how this joke would work if I change it to be my friends. I mean, I guess it would change the whole.
Yeah, it's a very separate idea, I will admit.
Yeah.
I heard the word contrarian, I thought of a thing, but the idea that everyone wants to be a contrarian, you know, obviously we know what you're talking about. It's like these days, or it seems like, or on Twitter, or whatever. Like, but you're just not saying that. Everyone wants to be a contrarian, but not me. It's great.
Everyone wants to be a contrarian, but not me. Do you like pineapple on pizza? Yeah? Oh, yeah, me too. I'm actually friends with a lot of contrarians. Just because I thought a contrarian was someone who really likes the video game Contra. And,
Get it all in.
Get it all in.
And Bartleby.
I prefer not to. What if it was? Wait, did I say this already? Everyone wants to be a contrarian, but not me. I agree with all of them.
I don't think I heard I agree with all of them.
Because if you agree with a contrarian, I don't know what that makes you.
It makes you contrarian to whatever they were disagreeing with to begin with, because that could be a third party.
You're a contrarian ally.
Well, I don't know.
I'm tapped.
There's something. There's something there. There's a lot of
Librarian.
Librarian, think
Run
about
with it, Anthony.
Lyme disease.
It's also funny. Tired.
Is that in there
Quick bites.
somewhere?
Very funny.
Aryan.
Aryan. Funny.
Contrarian race.
Yeah, the contrarian race.
We did it. We
Sometimes
pulled it out of our
Sometimes
butts.
digging.
Somehow we got.
There's nothing but poop here. We're
That's
just
great.
digging in poop. Wait, no, we found gold.
Anyway, so that's probably my time, I think.
All right.
Thanks for
Nice job.
your
Gerb.
feedback.
All right. Rob.
Gerb. All right. Thank you guys for listening to for hearing out my jokes. Let's see what we got today. We have a couple of silly ones, and I think I'm going to tell that story too. Let's see how much time we got. Let's start right now. Let me press record because I didn't.
We
do
could
that.
just finish where you left off during my turn.
That's true. I could do that. Should I start with this? Yeah, why not? All right. Brett had a story earlier.
Can you flash back in and edit there?
Yeah, I guess we could.
Make it black and
dream
white,
sequence.
like Crispin Glover in Back to the Future.
Black and white. We've all seen that movie. So yeah, Brett was talking about a situation where he saw two people have a miscommunication, and he just knew what both sides were thinking. I was privy to that, where I didn't know what I was saying wrong, or I didn't realize that I had misunderstood somebody, and then I realized after the fact. It was one of those people who approaches you on the street in like Union Square, and they ask you if you can effectively donate money to somebody, some group. I had a little extra time, so I decided to hear them out. I just wanted to hear their spiel. I wanted to hear their pitch, And she started off really nice, too. She was just like, hey, like, how much do you think that you might spend in, like, a given day? And I was like, that's a good question. I was like, you mean everything? She's like, yeah, like all of it combined, food, entertainment, whatever. And I was like, it's a lot. I mean, I live in New York City, so I don't know. It could be like $35 a day, maybe $40 a day. Like, who knows how much I spend between sandwiches and all this crap, coffee. And she's like, okay, that's great. Now, do you think maybe you could, spend $1 a day? And I was like, no, no, I absolutely could not. And I laughed, and I just kind of looked at her, and she was like, oh, okay. Well. And then she got really weird and quiet, and I was like waiting for the pitch. I was waiting for for just $1 a day, you can whatever. I thought maybe she was going to say, like, there are some people out in the world who, they only have $1 a day to live off of. Don't you feel bad for them? Couldn't you donate? I was waiting for whatever the fuck the shoe to drop was, and it never came. And instead, she got really weird to me. And I was like, are you going to ask me for the thing? And she was like, well, here's, thank you for your time. If you want to look up any information, here's like a website. And I said, thanks. And then she left. And I was like, what? I've been approached by several of these types of people. I know how it works. And I'm always kind of just curious and interested. This was the weirdest pitch. I'm literally 4 or 5 blocks down the road. And I went, oh, she didn't ask me if I thought I could live off $1 a day. She asked me if I thought I could live off of $1 less a day. And I just laughed in her face. And I was like, no, idiot. Kidding? No, I couldn't. That's ridiculous. And
I like that even more because you weren't sure how much you spent today, but you were positive that you could not exist with $1 less than that number that you don't know.
I could not have pretended to be a bigger asshole in that moment because I was so with her, and I was like, oh yeah, maybe $40 a day. Do you think you can spend $1 less? No. No, that's ridiculous. Like, I was so convinced that she said $1 a day that I just laughed. I was like, of course not. Who would? Who could? Like, I wouldn't let it go. And then she's like, okay. And she just cut it off. She's like, I think we're good here. As proof, a couple months later, I saw a person working for the same company, and I kind of let them approach me because I wanted to see if they'd give the same spiel.
And they were like, we know you.
The clipboard had a
Killed
picture of you.
herself.
Changed our entire script because of you. Oh, man, it was so funny. And then, sure enough, I was right that was the script, and because I heard the spiel again, I said, "Wow, you did say that." I actually don't know if she screwed up or not, or if I misheard her. Either way, it was so funny to me.
And I love that because they are relentless.
Yeah,
And for her to just give up
I was like, what did I say? What did I do? But I gave her no wiggle room. I literally just adamantly denied that I could ever live off $1 less a day. And she was like, do I make the pitch? I don't think
She dropped the clipboard, turned around, and walked away, and just faded into nothing.
I think she got a job at Goldman Sachs.
And I love that like there's a script, so it's like, well, if they say this, say that, and if they say this, say that. But she had no option. They just didn't cover somebody being a total monster.
Here's what you do if someone is really nice and engages with you, and then just laughs in your face at the very idea that they could afford $1 less a day.
So do you even know what this woman was pitching? What was the donation for?
It was I don't remember offhand. I probably would if you said it. You know, not UNICEF, not the Red Cross, not
Planetary thing. Climate.
I don't think it was a climate thing either. I would remember if I heard it. I don't recall.
I was just wondering how offensive what you said was
right,
based on
the people.
what
If
it
it was
was.
Children International.
Yeah, starving children. You're like, $1? Me?
$1?
Give it. Are you?
I've got places to be. Excuse me. I may not know what I spend in a day, but I certainly know I can't spend $1.
You're trying to ask me to
Who
go
could?
without my sleeve of Oreos that I eat every day? My bodega sleeve of Oreos that cost 99 cents? That's my special treat.
That's amazing. If there's really $1. Do you know those Oreos are not made of the same? They don't have the same recipe as regular Oreos. The sleeve Oreos.
Oh, really?
They're a little smaller, a little harder. I looked into it. Not even close.
Wow.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. I just said it
When
on
you
a podcast.
when you buy Oreos just in a little, you mean like the little sleeve that's like six
The
cookies
box,
or whatever?
the box or the sleeve. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are the same. So the little like cardboard box or that if that they're out of the cardboard box. The ingredients to that are markedly different than the ingredients to the regular Oreos. And I first
Why do you think
looked
that
into
is?
You mean ingredients or do you mean portions? Like, are they just smaller or harder? You say they're making them out of completely different things.
Well, if the cookies are harder, that implies that they are made differently.
Yeah, the ingredients are different. I was going to give a snarky answer, but I decided not to. Did you mean smaller, Rob? I think you mean smaller, right?
Just laugh in his face.
Because you said ingredients, but I don't think you meant that. I meant ingredients. I even said recipe before that.
Yeah, which I was like, God, Rob is a fucking
You tell
moron. He doesn't even know what he's talking about.
He's got a
You
thesaurus for
completely
wrong words.
Different ingredients to make a smaller Oreo.
For all we know, you could be talking about chips.
I think.
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Are you sure they were Oreos? You
I
sure
think they could just do
sure
it.
it wasn't orange juice? You moron.
Do you guys know that the ingredients are different? Because this is just, salt and whole wheat. It's like a bag of pretzels.
Taste looks different.
Totally different.
Spelled
Totally
different on the box.
Tastes completely different. Says ow when I bite it. That looks like a homeless dude, bro. Yeah, I know. They're totally different. They're 100% different.
Maybe they're harder because they're made for dunking.
It's possible. Maybe.
Maybe they're harder because they are not as well sealed because they're not in the massive package.
Oh, so they're stale.
All of these are things that I used to think because I remember buying a sleeve of Oreos and not enjoying them nearly as much as I would the original, recipe. And I go, what the hell is this? These are smaller and harder and they just don't taste as good or as right. And then I bought both, or I went to a store and I checked it, compared the two, and I was like, holy shit, they're different. They're just made with a different recipe.
So
Probably,
you
maybe in a
lab.
different factory. Who knows? Something like that. Yeah.
So when
Now-
you said they didn't taste as good, did you mean smaller?
I guess my big question is, how much of this is based on just your independent research? and whether or not you saw something that was like.
Well, as I feel like I just explained 30 seconds ago.
Remember when Rob wasn't going to give a snarky answer? Jarret forced him into it.
Rob, you will be an asshole to me. You were not going to get around
I just said I went into a store and I compared the actual ingredient labels from the.
You looked at the label.
Oreo
The labels are different.
The labels, the ingredients in the labels are different from a sleeve box of Oreos to the regular packaging of Oreos. Yeah.
So you're telling me the ingredients are not the same?
Now, my memory does not serve me well on this particular aspect, but I always felt that I never liked Oreo minis, and I just always assumed that the Oreo minis were just a different product altogether.
No. There's just wildly different ingredients in Oreo.
Right.
Guys, come on.
I was like, yeah, I agree with you.
Are the Oreo minis the ones that are actually soft? Is that a thing?
No, those
Or
are
there's-
Oreo soft.
Is that what it's called?
There are soft Oreos. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No, you're thinking of gum.
Oh, that's what it is. You're right. Oreo flavored gum. It's
I
like,
guess what I'm trying to say, Rob, is I don't know where you're trying to go with this bit. I don't know.
I have a whole thing about Laffy Taffies too. If you're curious, small Laffy Taffies versus the big one, they're not even the
You know
same
the Laffy
product.
Taffy that you buy at the bodega on 34th Street is different ingredients than the Laffy Taffy that you buy at the bodega on 86th.
Now I'm telling the story. The short of it is that there used to be two companies. One was Tangy Taffy, one was Laffy Taffy. Laffy Taffy was not tangy. It was just like a saltwater taffy.
It was hilarious.
Tangy Taffy was tangy. And then Laffy Taffy bought out Tangy Taffy. They changed the name, but just kept the ingredient. So it was like there was the big bars that are Laffy Taffy that are really Tangy Taffies. And then there's the small ones that are just the old product. No change in anything. They just literally make two different candies, but called the same name. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? So.
how can they even get away with that?
Welcome to Trump's America.
So Jarret would read the separate name for the smaller one and be like, I think they meant smaller. And he'd be right.
You would be right in that case.
Are you like talking about the difference between a Whopper and a Whopper Junior? Because I have my.
One time, Rob and I talked about how funny it would be to prank Steve while we were on tour by putting Laffy Taffies in the sunroof or somewhere. I bought a giant bag from Walmart of small Laffy Taffies, just to get him to open the sunroof, and then they would all fall down. I then told Steve that Rob and I talked about that, and then at that point I hadn't bought the Laffy Taffies.
Right.
I told Steve, and then I was like, Steve, get Rob to open the sunglasses thing, because I set up the Laffy Taffy. So it was like a multi-leveled prank where he knew about the prank, but he thought that we had just talked about doing it to Steve. And Steve, they're sitting next to each other. This is my favorite part. Is that they're sitting next to each other. Rob's driving, and Steve goes, "Can you get me my sunglasses?" And then Rob does it, and the Laffy Taffies fall out. He laughs, and he's like, "Just so you know, the only reason that worked is because you would ask me to get your sunglasses, even though you're right next to them. They are just as close to you."
Anybody else, I'd be like, what? Why would you?
You'd be like, "Is there a prank a brewing here?"
You know, Rob, I looked it up because I felt like an asshole.
Right.
And you're 100% right. So the regular Oreos is
You really didn't believe him until you looked it up?
Yeah, I just wanted
crazy.
to clarify.
And now you feel like
Regular-
less of an asshole?
Regular
Yeah, well, how
ingredients.
does that make you less of a household? I believed him because he told me he saw it with his own eyes.
I also believed him, but I also know how Rob is about things like this.
Right.
Rob
I
knows
believed
when.
him. This was a bit that you guys ruined.
Oh, no.
So well.
I feel like we made it better. Okay, do the bit.
I'm sorry.
I actually looked it up, Rob. You're totally right about that. So yeah, regular ingredients list: sugar, enriched flour. The sleeves: less sugar, less enriched flour, less palm oil, less high fructose corn syrup,
In parentheses, just smaller all around in general.
fewer bits of salt, fewer soy lecithin, half the vanilla. What you would see.
It sounds like you're pretty close on some of these ingredients. Are you actually?
I actually was
up?
looking at the ingredients list. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, when I care about something, I go deep on it.
You go hard.
So that's the Oreo story. Now let me know if I start glitching at all, because my computer went down to 1%, so I had to start plugging it in, and I opted to unplug my Ethernet.
Looks good so far.
Great. Oh man, I got a dumb one. All right, I'll just say the dumb one. I don't have a baby yet, but I still like to get in tummy time. Just 30 minutes a day. Just yeah.
With anybody's kid? Or?
No, just with me, I
Oh.
just do a little.
A little shimmy.
So yeah, but you gotta imagine me on my belly.
Isn't tummy time a belly to belly thing?
Tummy time for a baby is when the baby is on its belly and it's supposed to help get its like neck muscles, other
okay.
muscles in.
I didn't know
I
what it
didn't
was.
know what that was. I
thought
thought
it
tummy
was-
time was like you touch the belly or you do one of the like something like that. I thought it was. I had no idea.
I thought it involved a
Right.
parent and a child.
Well, the parent should be there to like assist, because then the baby's just going to get exhausted and flat on its face. Because like the thing
Is
is,
it for gas?
well, you don't want the baby to sleep on its stomach at night, because it could suffocate itself. But the reason it
SIDS.
might suffocate itself is because it can't like lift its head up and it just can't do anything. So you want supervised tummy time in order for it to build up those muscles faster, so that it can be more self-sufficient. If it gets on its stomach, it can not just suck a blanket to death. So I believe that is the thing. I haven't looked into it as much as the Oreo thing, but I'm pretty sure that's what tummy time is.
Jarret.
And see, a baby Jarret is a smaller human. It's like a bigger human, but
The ingredients.
Same
are
ingredients.
completely
Ingredients are the same.
I would kind of like this tummy time bit, even with an explanation about what it is.
sure, I can do that. I think a lot of people at this point know, especially if there's women around or people with kids. I just
have
thought it
not
was
really
fun
spent a lot
for
of time with-
me alone to get tummy time.
Yeah, I like it.
So tummy
I
time
like-
is time is when a baby lays on their stomach to help them do what?
To strengthen their neck muscles, arm muscles. stuff.
Okay, so tummy time is when a baby will lay on their stomach to help strengthen some of their muscles, their neck, their arms, or as I like to call it, bad yoga.
I like that too. I think, Anthony, what you're thinking of was, what is it called? It's called like skin to skin contact or something like that. There's other
That's
times.
what I was thinking of,
Oh,
yeah.
that's what you're thinking. Yeah, where you're supposed to have the baby rest on your chest, and then you're both naked or something, and then you're just letting the skin.
I didn't think that was part of it. Well,
Pretty
you added
sure.
that in.
I think you're naked.
I think what I was thinking of was just playing with a baby.
I didn't know what it was, but I figured it out from the context. I was like, oh, that's a baby thing. It's funny because it's an adult doing a baby thing.
Yeah, I think
that's
yeah,
all.
even just
It
and tummy time is just a funny word. So anytime, if I could just imagine Rob having tummy time on his own, that's just hilarious. Whether I know what tummy
exactly
time is
what
or not.
you're doing, but it's not. But it's funny.
If I were fat and had like a nice beer belly, I think that would just make it so much
Oh,
a
yeah.
funnier joke. Just imagining like Bert Kreischer or whatever doing
Sure.
a tummy time joke. Just imagining him. He's like, yeah, just get the neck muscles going. Just sit on my tummy. Or whatever. I think it's funny. Let's do one more for good measure. Okay, this is, I don't know what this is. You know when people really, really care about your grammar and they want to correct you, and people refer to them as grammar Nazis? You can just say Nazis. I think that if people really care about my syntax and word choice, if it really bothers that much, I think you also hate Jews secretly. I think that you also would want. That's what I feel. I think you probably. Hey, you got your roommate.
Yep, I got a new roommate.
So you're telling me that now you can't just go, "Meh."
Yep, that's exactly correct.
Have you done this joke before, Rob? It sounds kind of familiar.
What do you know of? I don't know.
You know, it did sound familiar to me too.
Really? Oh,
Saying just call them Nazis. That wasn't a thing that you have ever.
Maybe somebody has a bit that goes in the other direction where it's like, you know, of all the things that I didn't like about the Nazis, like them being very strict about grammar wasn't really high on the list.
I remember hearing something like that. Yeah.
For
I
me,
will
the
say,
thing,
Rob, you did put your quotations in the wrong part of grammar Nazi. You put
Oh,
it
yeah,
around
what-
grammar.
Oh, damn it.
oh,
So that's
it's
my
supposed
note.
to be grammar Nazis?
Yeah.
Like that?
I guess Brett hates Jews? Is that following the
no.
logic of your joke, Rob?
The logic of my joke would dictate that Brett hates Jews. Yeah. But I don't know if that logic even works. I just thought it'd be funny maybe if I just thought grammar Nazis were not Nazis about grammar, but they also probably just literally are Nazis. And you know, maybe it's not that funny because maybe that's how people do intend it to be. But I just be like, it's funny to, in my mind, to call someone like an actual, like, no, you are the literal, you know, rounding up gypsies and Jews and anybody else and murdering them, Nazi,
I'm
because
not
you care about grammar.
I'm not sure I make the connection between somebody who cares about grammar and hating Jews.
There probably is none. There is none. There literally is none. I'm doing some
Literally
kind
or
of hyperbolic.
figuratively, there is.
I'm just doing a hyperbole, saying like, you know, you're a monster. You're an actual literal monster just because you care about this one thing. But I guess that's not really a fun thing. Remember Tummy Time?
Let's go back to the tummy
That was
times.
fun. You know what I thought of years ago, and I couldn't remember exactly how this worked out, but it was like somebody had, you know, there's grammar Nazis, then there was like other little like Nazis with some kind of moniker, and then I was thinking of if somebody was like, it's like, oh, these people really care about, you know, my religion, or like how I like, it's like they're religious Nazis, and then that's when I thought of like, that's just Nazis, like that's just what they did, kind of thing. But I don't remember how that went and how that worked out, so I thought of this instead.
This might be dumb, but what if you were at a protest like the Women's March and a white supremacist told you that you had spelled something wrong on your protest sign? And you'd feel like, fucking grammar Nazi.
I like that.
It's funny because neo-Nazis always have things misspelled on their signs.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like that.
Or maybe you saw a white power rally and you were surprised that there was like one guy whose sign was spelled completely correctly. And it's like, I guess that's the grammar Nazi.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Out of all the Nazis, that one is the grammar Nazi.
Oh, yeah, I like your thing, Anthony, because then you can kind of be like, wow, of all these, the opposite of all these Nazis, not one of them is a grammar Nazi. You know,
Yeah,
whenever I
yeah.
see all these misspelled, whatever, they always get there wrong. Wow, of all the Nazis that are yelling at me online, not one of them's a
Not
grammar
one of
Nazi.
them is a grammar Nazi.
Something like that. Anyway,
That's
I don't know. This will all get cut. We're going to end on tummy time.
Probably.
Should we actually end on tummy time? Should we?
There is a good possibility between Brett's roommate coming in and this joke tanking
I'm sorry,
that I will.
Stone faced here. Already great episode, guys.
Great episode, guys.
Thanks, man. Talk to
See you later.
Bye.
Later.
you. You have no outro.
No outro.
Oh,
Bye.
No
it's up to you
outro.
guys. Bye.
No outro.
Thanks for listening and watching. This has been Is This Anything? Bye.
All right.
Mention the Patreon.
Yeah, check out our Patreon and give us money for stuff.
Yeah.
How's it going, everybody? Thank you so much for watching. We just want to remind you that we have a live Zoom show coming up on February 23rd at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can get tickets at nowheretime.com. It's our second live show. Our first one was awesome. You definitely want to come check it out. We're pitching jokes live. You can laugh along with us. One member of our Patreon will get to pitch a joke as well. People contribute in the comments. It's super fun, so come check it out. February 23rd, 9 p.m.
Eastern. These guys have helped 0 in this pitch.
Oh, but I'm supposed to do something?
No,
We've been
that's
doing.
okay. No, we got it.
You can't see us doing our funny reactions to what you're saying.
It's good enough.